this point right here. All right, I don't know if you guys missed that before, but this is a 6-inch DA sander I'm going to use. This is an interface pad by Limeline. You want to get the one with no holes in it, and this is 600 grit. We're going to sand this down. Okay, those of you that probably missed the first part, I don't know, I kind of lost a connection there, but this is 6-inch DA sander, the interface pad, and then 600 grit is what I sanded the Limeline metal flake down with, which is right here. Follow the instructions on the back. Use clear coat instead of intercoat clear. If you mix this with intercoat clear, it puts more of a build and a texture to it, and it's hard to get that texture to sand out, so you have to clear it multiple times, so it's just not worth it. It's better just to go start with a black base coat like it says here, and mix it with clear coat, 2K clear coat. All right, so you don't have to get all of the texture out because it does get sanded multiple times. Spots you can't get with sandpaper, you hit it with red Scotch-Brite, or you can just hand sand it with 600 grit. See how there's all that texture in there. You want to make it not shiny. That way the paint will stick to it. Like I said, we're not smoothing it all the way out, just most of the way. We're just going to get the gloss off of it for sure. Make sure you get the brackets. All right, that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna hit it with some 3M glass cleaner. Get all that sanding residue off of there. All right, here we go. That's prepped. Looks good. Feels good. All right, some of the tape that we'll be using. And let's see, make sure I get that in the picture. Be using some, what is this, 1/8 inch? No, 1/4 inch. And some line, 1/8 inch and 1/16 inch. And then some tape removal blades I'll show you here in a minute. But first thing I do when I first start out is I start by taping out the center line. That way I know, because I am going to be duplicating the graphics the same on each side. Once again, here's the rear fender. Hopefully you guys can see that. So basically, we're going to duplicate what we have here onto the front fender, knowing that, you know, this is only, what, maybe 5 inches. This is a lot more. We have a lot more going on. So we're just going to make a downscaled version of what we have here onto the front fender. I do like to stay with the same design that's on the top, so we're going to do something like what we have going on right here, right down the center. And like I said, obviously we're not going to have room for everything, so we'll see how it goes. The nice thing is with these fenders, at least these front fenders, you can see right here, has a hole. So there's your center line right there. Okay. That looks good. I think. Let me check it out. Yeah, that looks good. When I'm starting to design, I usually, make sure I'm in frame here. I always start out with 1/8 inch myself, and then I'll double it up and I'll run a 1/16 up next to it, leaving a little bit of a space. But for sure, I always like to start with the 1/8 inch first. So now that I got the center line, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run a couple of lines to match what I have going on the fender. Check that last little bit. All right, got that down. Next, it looks like I'm gonna run another 1/8 inch. But I'm gonna bump it out about a 1/2 inch. It's vinyl tape is what this is, yes. This is paper tape. The center line is paper tape. I use the paper tape in the center because it's cheaper. And that way, but it doesn't leave as clean of a line. Vinyl's the way to go. So once again, I'm running roughly a half an inch off of this other line on both sides. That's a bug. Get. There we go. All right, I'm gonna pull the center line off. Get it off. Okay. You see what I did right there? All right, next, let's see. I'm looking at the reference I have on the rear fender. And actually, it looks like I did that wrong. Let's see. Okay, I'm thinking here. I'm actually going to do something different back here. This happens all the time. It's live and you don't see this on my other videos, but it happens all the time. I'll look and it's not exactly what I'm wanting. You pull the tape and you try something else. Just thinking here, so okay. So I'm going to bring this around. Okay, that's more what I want right there. Gonna run another 1/8 inch. About 1.5 inches away or so. 1.25 inches. I'm just kind of estimating. I'm not really running any tape lines as guides. I'm just, I guess after you do it for long enough, you can just kind of see. It doesn't need to be 100% perfect, but it needs to be really good. Okay, there's that. So I'm going to change this and do the same thing here. Not quite. That's closer. Looks like I'm starting, I mean, if you look at this, it looks like I'm still down just a little bit right here. I need to start the curve a little bit closer. Really all I'm doing is just eyeballing this. I'm going to use this piece of tape one more time. Nope, didn't quite get it. So after about like 3 or 4 pulls on the tape, I don't use that piece of tape anymore because it's just not going to stick for you. You can remove it a few times, but after that it's just better to lay down a new piece. Okay, there we go. I got it. So yeah, I know there's probably other ways you could do it. You can lay down a piece of paper and then cut out like and trace it and flip it, and you could do pounce pads. I know there's a lot of different ways. I eyeball it. That's just the way I do it. Yeah, it took me a few times to get it right or close enough that it's gonna look right. That's just the way I do it, kind of on the fly. So there we go. We got that. Next, let's see here. All right, looks like we have another line right here. I'm gonna go ahead and run and just edge this out. Just like that. I'm gonna grab a razor blade. When I'm cutting this, I always cut on the tape. On that, at least on that one, I cut right in the middle. As far as cutting on your paint, I do it all the time as long as it's clear coated. Not very often I'll cut on top of just straight bare base coat because it's pretty easy to cut through. Okay. Good. Okay. Go ahead and do this on the other side. All right. So. Okay, next I'm going to need to run, looks like this line right here. 1.5 inches. So once again, this is 1/8 inch tape, and I'm running it about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches away from my last stripe. Oh yeah. Okay, looks like we have a couple of, let's see, did I do that right? Yeah, I totally did that right. All right, looks like we have a couple of lines coming out right here. And then I have this little arrow type design. Let's see how I did this. Okay. Let's see. All right. I'm jumping ahead. This is what I need to do right here. Let's see here. This guy right there. This needs to be Okay, now we got it. Okay, see that? It took me a minute to get that. I don't know why. It's easy on the other fenders. But you see how I'm just going to trim this up. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right, we're going to match that on the other side. So I'm just going to run a guideline straight across there so I have a marker point. You can see I'm just a little bit off of there, so that's where I'm going to be with that point. Let's try that again one more time right here. There we go. Not quite. Let me hit that again. Okay, there we go. So usually what I'll do is I'll put both of my fingers at the points, and then let's see. That way I can kind of see if it's straight across, which it is. We're looking good. Pull this guy off. Looks like it's off a little bit on that one. That's the nice thing about tape is you can always just pull it off and lay it back down. There we go. So I always like to look at the negative space. That's what I was kind of comparing that to that. We'll see. We'll see how it looks once I cut it. It looks like I screwed up the cut on this. I don't know if you can see that, but I did cut in a little bit too hard right there. I'm gonna have to fix that by putting another little piece of tape right there, lining it up, make sure it's perfectly lined up. Where'd my razor blade go? It's right here. There it is. Yes. Okay, there we go. Oh, looks like I got one more to cut right there. Oh, I cut in the wrong spot. You need to cut it up here. Okay, that looks good. Trim this right here. Make sure that's down. All right. Let's see, I think there's one more line, but I don't have room for that line. Looks like this is gonna need something here, so. I'm gonna run one more 1/8 inch right here, just underneath those rivets. See, that kind of cleans up that edge right there. Let's do it on the other side. Okay, that's it for the 1/8 inch. Hopefully you guys got a good look at that. That was pretty easy. I struggled in a couple of spots, but not too bad. Let me grab the 16th inch. Okay, I got some 16th inch. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run it along just on every other side of the 1/8 inch, about a 16th away. So it's the 16th inch, running it about a 16th away. This is pretty easy because once you have the 1/8 inch done, it's like the design's already finished. You just gotta, let's see, that's not gonna fly. Go straight over here. I'm just kind of jumping over this 1/8 inch line because I did it on the other parts and I thought it looked good. See, I did that, just kind of jumped over it in that one spot. Pull that off. Just gonna follow this all the way around. Let's see. No. Okay, so that'll cut that off there. All right, looking good so far. We're gonna go ahead and line this out right here. Just make sure you don't pull the tape too hard, because it'll shrink back on you if you do it. You're just gonna be really gentle. See right there where it meets the rivets? I'm going to trim that before it goes over the rivet because it's just not going to look right if we try to run the line over that. So I'm just going to cut it right before and right after and get rid of the line right there. The way the rivet kind of just, you can actually shadow it there and stuff and make it look like the rivet's going over the line. Little details. Getting closer here. Let's see. We are going to need to run 2 lines down each of these center lines. Alright, that was easy. Oh, gotta do this other side real quick. Alright, let's see what we got here. Here to cross over. Trim that real quick so I can get it out of the way. I'm gonna roll this one around. Do that. That doesn't go there, so let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay. And just looks like a couple more right here. All right. Whew, it's getting hot in here. All right. Double check to make sure that everything is duplicated. applicated. Looks good. I like it. Yep. All right. I'm gonna mix up some paint here. All right, sorry about that, guys. I wasn't prepared. Show you the color. I already have it mixed up, but I'm going to show you exactly what I did to mix it up. Where's my candies? Okay. Y'all can see that? Yeah, looks like it. All right. So I already have this color mixed up because I've done the tank and the other fender and the fairing already. But that's the color of purple, candy purple that I mixed up. And how I did that, because I didn't have a purple, I did have a pink, and I did have oriental blue on hand. Or I could have just ordered the purple on Amazon, would have had it in a couple of days. But instead I just decided I was going to mix it because you can do that. So I took, and also the inner coat clear, you don't want to forget that. So once again, candy colors are not like traditional pigmented colors. They're transparent. So this is a clear base coat, and these are candy concentrates, so it means that you need to mix that with the clear base coat. I mix it like 3 to 1, 3 parts of the clear to 1 part of the candy. There's no hard rules though. You can mix it however you want, pretty much. I mean, you want to make sure you have enough binder in there so it's going to stick, but I mean, some people say, well, you know, 3 to 1, that's way too thick. And yeah, it probably is if you're spraying a car. You know, if you're spraying a whole car, you're gonna want it to lay down as even as possible. So in that case, you want to make it so it's not so strong. So you have to do more coats. So the more coats you do, the more you can build it up on bigger surfaces to fix that. So to make it more even. So, but on this case, we're spraying with an airbrush. We're spraying close quarters. So that's pretty much it. So I'm going to be doing a 3 to 1 instead of you know, some people say 30 to 1 or 20 to 1 or whatever, but that's how I'm mixing it up. So what I did is I took the pink candy, the blue candy, mixed those together at about a 3 to 1 with that. And that's what this color is right here. Let me pour this out. And I'll be reducing this. So I do mix this with a reducer just to make it sprayable. So that's the purple. Those two colors mixed together makes the purple. Add the inner coat clear, and then there you go. You got it. So that's the first color. The second color I'm going to show you we're going to mix up is base coat black. Speedo coat is what I use. This is just straight urethane reducer. All we're doing is making it sprayable. Yeah, I'm doing it live right now. that's it up there. Let's take these two colors. Set these off to the side. Okay, back to it. So what I'm using here is, this is a Iwata Eclipse HP CS. So it's just a, there's no Mac valve or anything like that. Just a, I think these are like around, I don't know, 150 bucks or something like that on the Amazon. You'll see a link down in the description where you'll find all these products, all the Speedo Coat, the House of Color, the airbrush, everything's there. So check that out. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load this up with some black base coat. The black base coat we just got done mixing up. Let's do that. Okay, and we're just going to want to follow our lines. That's all we're going to do. I'm going to turn the air pressure down a little bit. You hear that? It's coming out way too fast. There we go. Hopefully you can hear that. That's, yeah, I'm just kind of slowing the flow down a little bit. And all I'm doing is just aiming between the two tapes and just barely blending out on both sides. As you can see, it takes a few passes in order to get it dark enough. Nothing's really painted in one pass. It's multiple passes, 3 or 4 times. Oh, I forgot to pull the tape right there. sun come through. All right. I think I got it all there. Let's check it out. That's it. We got it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and move on. And I'm gonna show you this one trick. Let me move this out of the way. But how I clean my airbrush is I'll put some lacquer thinner in a bottle like this. Dump my black paint out. Makes it way easier. Shit. All right, there's our purple mixture. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate that. We're gonna fill up the same airbrush again. All right, I am gonna add a few different designs to this. So I know that this is gonna go stay purple right here. It looks like right here. Let's add some fish scales to this panel right here. So these are from Stick It Stencils. You can see them right there. These are the mermaid stencils. They're mermaid because it does have that extra little cut in it. Pull those out. I'm going to show you how to use these. They actually go a long ways. Like when you order like 5 pages, that you can really get a lot done. I think I ordered this a long time ago and it's still around. So I'm going to trim just a section of this out right here. I already pulled the inside, and then we need to get rid of this bottom piece right here. All right, that there. Then we'll grab some tape. Okay, a couple of things you really have to remember when you're laying these out is you want to start with the bottom and move up. If you start with the top and move down, you're taping on top of what you're already just done and you can't see where you're at. So it makes sense, right? So if you're gonna go here and then next you're gonna go here, you're right on top, you can't see where to line it up. Here you're just moving straight up. So always start at the bottom. I'm just gonna be real careful, so I'm not even gonna tape it up. Move this down just a little bit. So I'm just aiming for the little slit in the middle and then fading down onto the bottom. See that? And then, so that's where it was, and we're gonna move up and then over just a little bit. See where that point is going to meet up right there? I mean, you could do it like this. I've never done it like that. And that would probably actually look all right. But I'm not gonna do it like that because I never do. No, I think this way's better, but you could try it out, see what's up. Once again, just lining it up. Make sure your spacing is even. There. This actually goes really fast. So you can get all these colors in the airbrush, and like I said before, all this stuff will be in a link. It'll be in the description. You'll be able to replay this whole live if you want to sit through it again. I don't know how, but it'll be there. So you can check out the Amazon link. That'll have all the supplies there. Using that link kind of helps support what I do here. So if you do that, that's awesome. I appreciate that. I'll also have a video out on, I painted the tank like I said earlier on this, and I didn't do that one very dark. Let me go back. Yeah, like I was saying before, I'll have a full video of that tank getting painted. So that'll be coming in a couple of weeks. Appreciate you guys watching that. All right, I got that done. Let's do this other side. You can see how long that's lasting. Quite a while. I haven't been looking, but somebody's probably asked where I got this stencil at. You can get it from Stick It Stencils on Instagram. I'm sorry if you guys have more questions, I'm just not answering them. It's just easier just to stay on track here. One day, hopefully I'll be able to go back. And I don't know if there's an option for me to answer the questions afterwards, but you can always, like I said, this will be, you can re-watch this, and you can always re-ask that question. And I will see it then, but I just won't see it, I guess, in a live. All right, last one. I'm gonna go ahead and just with the edges of this, to blend that in. All right, that's the fish scales. That was pretty easy. So I think that's probably the last graphic I'm gonna be putting in. I'm gonna blend all this in right now with the purple, and then we're gonna pull the tape. But like, there's not a whole lot of room on this fender, so I'm just implementing some of the designs that I had on the other parts because it's so small. Just kind of doing a compressed version of the same paint job on this fender. If this was like a back fender or a bigger fender with sides, obviously there would be more room on the sides, and then the would actually stretch out. But as you can see, it's just kind of fallen in to the edge, which is going to look great. So yeah, next I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to hit all my lines, but I'm going to let it blend out more. So I'm kind of tinting, in a way, I'm kind of tinting the black in a purple. And then I'm just kind of blending out. I'm not trying to hit dead center of anything. That way everything looks smooth. You can see how nice and blended that looks. It makes it darker on the edge, and the more coats that you put on it, it darkens it up a little more. If I do hit it in the center, I'll kind of come way back here, you know, and just kind of tint all that silver that color. Kind of blend that in right there. Almost got it here. All right, like I said, it takes multiple passes really to make it smooth and even and blended. That's what I'm doing here. I think I just about got it though. Just a little bit more. Kind of blend that in, but looks like we're ready. I'm gonna go and pull the tape on this. So I do use these plastic razor blades. They're not sharp really, but the reason why I use them is because it keeps you from marring or gouging the paint. You can kind of like pull up the edges with it. It also, like if you have some areas that don't want to stay stuck down, you can, you know, use it like you would a credit card or something like that, and push the tape down. Like if I let my tape sit for over a day, I'll for sure take one of these and go over everything. But the tape will stay. I've had the Limeline tape stay for 3 days before. I did tape down my edges and the curves, the sharp curves, I kind of taped them down, but yeah, using this to push it down. I do get a question asked a lot, like when do you pull the tape? Pretty much when the paint's dry, you know. If you're spraying this base coat or this candy and you're spraying it in 50-degree weather, well, it's going to take an hour or something. I don't know how long it'll take, but it'll take a long time. If you're spraying, like it's almost 100 degrees here right now, so it's drying really fast. So I would say, and it also depends on how heavy you spray it. So, you know, 10 minutes or so, 5 minutes. You can kind of tell when it's not tacky anymore, it's ready to really be pulled. It's not like clear coat, where clear coat takes a while to dry. It's stuff designed to dry pretty fast. I just about got a couple more. All right, I think I got it. Okay, well that's it, guys. I really wish I could go through all the questions. Let me see if I can right here. Nope. But there it is. I appreciate you watching. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there's no way for me to. Okay, well, that's it, guys. If you have any questions, you'll be able to